Hi friends, myself Madhukar BN. Today we shall study the characteristic function concept and solve few problems based on this. I shall be sharing this material with you on WhatsApp also. So characteristic function is one of the most important parameters in ascertaining certain the behaviors of various discrete distributions as well as continuous distributions. It occupies a very important place in the in probability and random process or probability and stochastic process, because there are certain discrete distributions and continuous distributions for which variance cannot be computed, right? We cannot think that variance exists for all probability distributions. There are certain distributions for which variance does not exist. Variance cannot be computed for some PDFs and for some PMFs. So in such case, we need to have a parameter which characterizes that particular probability distribution function or the probability mass function in a clear cut way, so that the analysis becomes simple and they can be used in the various applications. So characteristic function abbreviated as CF, characteristic function abbreviated as CF, comes in as a handy tool for analyzing such PDFs. And it is another beauty of this characteristic function CF concept is that it enables us to have a direct link with the Fourier transform also. Okay, what we are going to say is that the PDF, the probability density function of a random variable x, and the characteristic function form a Fourier transform pair. So if I take the Fourier transform of the PDF, I get the characteristic function. If I take the inverse Fourier transform of the characteristic function, I get the PDF back. So such is the beauty of this characteristic function and its relationship, and which makes it to be mathematically tractable. Mathematically tractable means mathematically existing in the true sense. So it exists mathematically, even though variance does not exist for certain PDFs. So that's why its study is imperative and very much important on our part to know it, right? So we shall start off with the definition of the characteristic function, and we shall discuss about some of its properties, some of its elegant properties. After that, we shall go on to solve some problems based on this. So that is the epithet of this present video lecture. So talking about the definition, so we know from the expectation characteristic definition that the expectation of a function g of capital X. Okay, details of this we shall be discussing in the properties of expectation, which I am going to discuss shortly. Expectation of a function g of capital X, where X is a random variable, is simply defined as expected value of g of X, that is E of g of X. E means expected operation or expectation operation. So E of g of X is simply given by integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of X into f of X dx. E of g of X is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of X into f of X dx. So suppose if I write g of X is equal to e to the power of j omega x, let me write g of capital X is equal to is equal to E. E is 2.71828. Okay, g of X is equal to e to the power of j omega x. So writing g of X is equal to e to the power of j omega x, we obtain expected value of g of X, where g of X is replaced by e to the power of j omega x. So this is equal to e to the expected value of e to the power of j omega x, which is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power of j omega x into fx of x dx. Now this expected value of e to the power of j omega x, I am going to denote it as phi x of j omega, phi subscript capital X of j omega, right? Let me denote this expectation operation of e to the power of j omega x as phi x of j omega. Therefore, phi x of j omega, which is equal to expected value of e to the power of j omega capital X, were written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x e to the power of j omega x dx, is called the characteristic function. Okay, and it is the Fourier transform of the PDF fx of x. Why? Because this definition, this integral definition, relates almost is identical or analogous to the definition of the Fourier transform, which you would be studying in signals and systems and also in engineering mathematics 4. Okay, so that's why it is called the Fourier transform of fx of x. In simple terms, I can say that the CF characteristic function is nothing but the Fourier transform of the PDF fx of x. Okay, and the only difference between the definition of the Fourier transform and the definition of the characteristic function here, which we must note, which is very, very important, is that there is a change in the sign of the exponent. That is, the sign of the exponent is reversed in the definition of the characteristic function. Illi, in the definition of the characteristic function, I have got e to the power of j omega x. Whereas in the definition of the Fourier transform, which we are going to study in the other analogous subjects, we use e to the power of minus j omega x. So the characteristic function is the Fourier transform of the PDF function, wherein there is a reversal of sign change in the exponential. Apart from the reversal of the sign change, no other differences exist between that of a CF and a Fourier transform, excepting for the sign change in the exponential. In Fourier transform, I have got e to the power of minus j omega x. In the definition of the characteristic function, I have got positive exponential e to the power of j omega x. Right? So excepting for the reversal of the sign change, everything is the same. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x dx all would be there. Only in case of CF, I have got exponent j omega x, whereas in the case of Fourier transform, I have got e to the power of minus j omega x. That's what we have written here. The sign of the exponent is reversed here. So that's right, and it is a CF is a linear operator. So when I'm able to find the CF from its PDF, then I can also recover the PDF from its CF. So the PDF is simply obtained from the characteristic function by taking the inverse Fourier transform. How do you define it? It is given by this relationship. Fx of x is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity phi x of j omega into e to the power of minus j omega x d omega. Fx of x equal to 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity phi x of j omega e to the power of minus j omega x d omega. So this is the inverse Fourier transform, which gives me the PDF back from the CF. So here also there is a change in the sign of the exponent. In the inverse Fourier transform definition, which we study in signals and systems and engineering mathematics, there we use a positive exponential, whereas in the inverse transformation for finding the PDF from the CF, we use negative exponential here. So there is a sign of change is there. Apart from that, there is no other difference. Okay, so that's why when this fx of x and this and its CF phi x of j omega exist, we tell that the PDF and the CF form a Fourier transform pair. We say pair means constitutes of two entities. So fx of x is one entity, phi x of j omega is the second entity. So when fx of x and phi x of j omega exist, they form a Fourier transform pair. Okay, so that's the basic definition of the CF that we are going to that we have defined. Okay, and especially the CF basically provides a better description of the PDF when compared to the mean, variance, and other higher order moments. Okay, so that's why when mean and variance do not exist, then we need to have a parameter that can characterize the CF, that can characterize the PDF. So in such cases, CF plays a very, very pivotal role. So that's the utility of it. And apart from that, it has got many other beautiful elementary and elegant properties also. So what is that? Well, first of all, is that we know that the PDF of a random variable is always positive. The random variable can take negative and positive values, but the PDF of the random variable is always positive. It is always non-negative. PDF of a random variable is always positive, and its unit and its the area under the PDF is always equal to 1. So this guarantees the fact that the characteristic function will always exist. Since the PDF of a random variable is always positive, and since its area under the PDF curve is always equal to 1, that's why the CF will always exist. So this is the guarantee that CF gives. So this is one such property. Now, how to define the characteristic function for a discrete random variable? This is the definition of the characteristic function for a continuous random variable. Continuous random variable means integration comes. Whereas for the case of a discrete random variable, I have a positive, I should have summation. For the case of a discrete random variable DRV, I should get I should get a summation. So how does that come? That we shall see now. Now we know that the probability mass function, or the PMF, for a discrete random variable is simply defined as Px of xk is equal to P of probability P of capital X is equal to xk. You know that the PMF is simply given by Px of xk is equal to capital P of x is equal to xk. And the discrete for random variable, for a discrete random variable, and the CDF for a discrete random variable is simply given in terms of unit step functions. This not the PDF and the CDF can be expressed in terms of unit impulse functions and unit step functions. We know that from signals and systems that any signal can be represented in terms of unit step and unit impulse functions, and also in terms of unit ramp functions also. Yes or no? Use the same criteria here. So the CDF for a DRV can be expressed in a generic form as like this. Capital Fx of x is equal to summation over k Px of xk into u of x minus xk. Fx of x, very very important definition. Fx of x is equal to summation over k Px of xk into u of x minus xk. And the PDF, CDF can be expressed in as a weighted sum of, weighted means WEIGHTED, WEIGHTED ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು weighted ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಯೋದು, ಇದು weighted WEIGHTED. Weighted andre this each and every step function is being multiplied by a probability value. This such samples we call it as weighted samples, WEIGHTED SAMPLES, weighted samples. So a CDF is always represented by its unit step function, whereas the PDF is always represented in terms of weighted impulse functions. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? The PDF or the PMF is usually represented as a weighted sum of unit impulse functions. The CDF is represented as a sum of weighted unit step functions, or weighted sum of step functions. Now if Fx of x, which is the CDF, is equal to summation over k Px of xk into u of x minus xk, then the PDF is represented as small fx of x is equal to summation over k Px of xk into delta of x minus xk. ಅದೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ. u of x minus xk ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು CDF ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು PMF ಅಥವಾ PDF ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Now substitute the definition of this PMF into the definition of the characteristic function. That is, if I call this as equation 1.7.1, substitute, let me call the definition of the PMF in terms of unit impulse functions as 1.7.4. So substitute this equation 1.7.4 into this equation 1.7.1. So what is that I get? I get phi x of j omega is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Now substitute this summation k Px of xk into delta of x minus xk into e to the power of j omega x dx. I just put this here, that's all. Now I can interchange the order of the summation and the integration. So the summation, the internal summation, the inner summation becomes the outer summation in the next step. The outer integral becomes the inner integral in the next step. So this is what I am doing. This outer integral becomes the inner integral here. The inner summation becomes the outer summation here. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಅದೇ ಇದರ mathematical computation. So when I do so, when I am pulling the summation over k outside, I shall also pull some variables also along with it. When I am pulling the summation k, I shall also pull some variables also along with it. When I am pushing the integral inside, outer integral inside, I shall also push some variables also inside with it. ಒಂದು ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಆಚೆ ಎಳೆಯುವಾಗ ಕೆಲವು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಆಚೆ ಎಳಿತೀನಿ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿ, ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಜೊತೆಲಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಲ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಲ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸುವಾಗ ಕೆಲವು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಲ್ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬರೋದು. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಕೆ Px of xk here into integral minus infinity to plus infinity delta of x minus xk. So e to the power of j omega x dx I get. So when I am pulling summation over k, I am also pulling Px of xk along with it. And when I am pushing integral minus infinity to plus infinity inside, I am also pushing e to the power of j omega x along with it and combining it with delta of x minus xk. Combine ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಜೊತೆಲಿ. Now recognize what is this. Use the shifting property of the unit impulse function. I shall use the unit impulse function of, I shall use the shifting property, SIFTING. You would have studied this in signals and systems and also in mathematics. I shall use the shifting property of the unit impulse function. So this is nothing but, this integral is nothing but e to the power of j omega x, where x is evaluated at x is equal to xk. ಹೇಗೆ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. M2 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಅದರದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. M2 ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity delta of x minus xk into e to the power of j omega x dx is nothing but e to the power of j omega x evaluated at x is equal to xk. So if I substitute x is equal to xk, e to the power of j omega x becomes e to the power of j omega xk, which is what I am having here. This becomes e to the power of j omega xk. So this becomes summation over k px of xk into e to the power of j omega xk. So this becomes summation over k px of xk into e to the power of j omega xk. This dx should not be there, so please remove this dx. Okay, there's a printing mistake in the book that we are referring. So this dx will not come in the final expression. The final expression would be summation over k px of xk into e to the power of j omega xk only. Dx will not come in the definition of the CF for discrete random variables. Okay, so let me show that. So this dx will not come in the definition of the CF for discrete random variable. So what I have used here, I have just substituted this integral is equal to e to the power of j omega x at x is equal to xk by the shifting property of impulse. So this becomes e to the power of j omega x with x is equal to xk. So I get e to the power of j omega xk. So what is the definition of a CF for a discrete random variable? This equation 1.75. 1.7.5 is the definition for the CF of a discrete random variable. So I get summation over k px of xk into e to the power of j omega xk. So 1.7.5 is the definition of the CF of a DRV, whereas equation 1.7.1 is the definition of the CF for a CRV, continuous random variable. So this 1.7.1 and 1.7.5 are very, very important definitions which you need to remember for finding the CF of DRVs and CRVs. Okay. Next, we shall go for finding the moment about origin using CF. Moment about origin using CF. So if I differentiate this equation n number of times, if I differentiate this equation n number of times, not one time or second, 2 times or 3 times, n number of times, where n is a positive integer. If I differentiate that n number of times, I get d by d. What with respect to what I am differentiating? I am differentiating equation 1.7.1 with respect to j omega. Very, very important parameter. When I am differentiating equation 1.7.1 with respect to j omega n number of times, then I get this equation. D to the power of n, dn by d of j omega to the power of n, very, very important parameter, phi x of j omega is simply given by integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n fx of omega into e to the power of j omega x dx. Okay. Then the expected value of x to the power of n is simply given by d by d of nth derivative of j omega, nth derivative of phi x of j omega with respect to j omega at omega is equal to 0. Let me repeat this. It's a very important concept and it may be a little bit intimidating. I have got the definition of CF. Differentiate both sides with n number of times with respect to j omega. Then I have dn by d of j omega whole to the power of n of phi x of j omega is simply given by integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n fx of x exponent j omega x dx. So further simplification of this leads to the fact that expected value of x to the power of n is simply given by the dn by d of j omega whole to the power of n of fx of j omega evaluated at omega is equal to 0. So let me tell what is this. If I differentiate the CF equation n number of times with respect to j omega on both sides, then I get this. So further simplification of this yields me the nth order moment. E to the power of x to the power of n is the nth order moment. So the expected value of x to the power of n is simply given by the nth order derivative of the CF with respect to j omega at omega is equal to 0. E of x of n is equal to dn by d of j omega whole to the power of n of phi x of j omega at omega is equal to 0. Means the nth order moment is simply given by E of x to the power of n. Nth order moment of a random variable x is simply given by E of x to the power of n. So that is simply given by the nth order derivative of the characteristic function evaluated at omega is equal to 0. ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತರ್ಜುಮೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಾಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. The nth order moment of a random variable x is simply given by E of x to the power of n. That is simply given by the nth order derivative of the characteristic function phi x of j omega evaluated at omega is equal to 0. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, phi x of j omega ಇದೆ, phi x of j omega ನ n ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಮೆಗಾ is equal to 0 ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. That would be my nth order moment ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So a characteristic function helps me in calculating the mean. It helps me in calculating the variance and all other higher order moments. Right? A characteristic function enables me to find different parameters. Because moment about origin using CF is what that is given. So moment about origin is given when omega is equal to 0. So if I differentiate the CF n number of times, I get this equation dn by d of j omega to the power of n phi x of j omega is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n fx of x into e to the power of j omega x dx. This not I am differentiating with respect to j omega. So the expected value of x to the power of n, this gives me the further simplification gives me the expected value of x to the power of n, which is nothing but the nth order moment. So that is simply given by evaluating the nth, that is simply obtained by differentiating the CF characteristic function phi x of j omega with respect to j omega n number of times, and then equating the final result to 0. That is, and equating the final result by equating omega to be equal to 0. CF na 0 equate ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. I get e to the power of x of n by differentiating the characteristic function phi x of j omega n number of times with respect to j omega, and in the final result I substitute omega is equal to 0 in order to get the corresponding nth order moment. If I put n is equal to 1, I get mean. If I put n is equal to 2, I get e of x squared, which helps me in computing the mean variance. Sorry, e of x squared helps me in computing the variance. If I put n is equal to 3, it helps me in computing the skewness. If I put n is equal to 3, it helps me in computing the kurtosis, so on and so forth. It may be intimidating, but remember the statement in words what I told. That's more than sufficient. Now we shall find the characteristic function for a transformation y is equal to ax plus b. It is one of the properties of the characteristic function also. Now how to find the CF of the transformation y is equal to x plus b? This is one of the transformations of this is one of the important properties of CF. Now use the definition. I have phi x of j omega is simply given by e of e to the power of j omega x, which I have written here. Phi x of j omega is equal to e to the power of j omega x. That's what we are making usage here. Now for a random variable y, which is related to the random variable x by the function y is equal to ax plus b. For the transformation y is equal to ax plus b, I shall find the characteristic function of y. So for that I define phi y of j omega is equal to expected value of e to the power of j omega y. Now, using this principle, I have written the definition for the CF of random variable y. Now substitute y is equal to ax plus b. So this would be e of e to the power of j omega y replaced by ax plus b. So e to the power of j omega into ax plus b. So this can be written as e to the power of j omega ax into e to the power of j omega b within the expectation operation. That's what I have written here. By the laws of indices, I can write this as exponent j omega ax into exponent j omega b. Now e to the power of j omega b is a constant. Sorry, there was some device that fell at the back side. Okay, fine. Returning to the derivation. Now I have, by the laws of indices, I am having e to the power of j omega ax into e to the power of j omega b. Now e to the power of j omega b is a constant, so I can move it, I can bring it outside the expectation operation. Why? Because by properties of expectation, which we shall be deriving in the next video lectures, we know that the expectation of a constant is a constant itself. The expectation of a constant is a constant. So e to the power of j omega b is constant. So expectation of e to the power of j omega b would be e to the power of j omega b itself. For example, I have a constant equal to 2. Expected value of 2 is 2 only. I have a constant, say 1 lakh. Expected value of 1 lakh is 1 lakh itself. So likewise, the expected value of e to the power of j omega b is e to the power of j omega b. So I take it outside into expected value of e to the power of j omega ax. Now this, compare this e of e to the power of j omega ax with expected value of e to the power of j omega x. Compare this. Okay, let me write it. So compare the right hand side of this, these two. So compare this expected value of e to the power of j omega x with e to the power of j omega, expected value of e to the power of j omega x. So this is exactly equal. These two are exactly equal. Only thing is that omega is replaced by omega into a here. This is phi x of j omega equal to e to the power of expected value of e to the power of j omega x. Here I have got expected value of e to the power of j omega x multiplied with e to the power of j omega b. Right? This would remain as it is. This would not disturb anything. But my worry is to evaluate this. So if I compare the expectation operations of this and this, I realize this both are equal. Only thing is that here I have got j omega x in the exponential, and here I am having j omega x in the exponential. So j omega exponent j omega x whose expectation is taken, which is nothing but phi x of j omega. So here I have e to the power of j omega x whose expectation is taken. So this is nothing but phi x of omega, phi x of j omega, where omega is replaced by omega a. So what is this? If expected value of e to the power of j omega x, if the expected value of e to the power of j omega x is equal to phi x of j omega, then expected value of e to the power of j omega x is simply nothing but phi x of j omega, wherein omega is replaced by omega e. So this is almost equal to omega. This is almost equal to omega, where omega is replaced by omega a. So treat omega a as one entity, or I can write this as one entity. So this is e to the power of j omega x. This is e to the power of j omega x. So instead of omega, which is there here I have got omega replaced by omega a. So this is nothing but the phi x of j omega, where omega x replaced by omega a. So this becomes, this e of e to the power of j omega x becomes phi x of j omega a multiplied by e to the power of j omega b. So that's the most important properties of the CF. Okay, so the characteristic function of the transformation y is equal to ax plus b is simply given by e to the power of j omega b into phi x of j omega a. So this is about some of the properties of the characteristic function. Okay, in the next video lecture we shall talk about the we shall discuss about, we shall solve some problems based on this characteristic function. Okay, thank you.